Hello and welcome to Audio Quick Tips. My name's Lee Woodward and welcome to the program. Today I have a guest. Here live at the Real Estate Academy, we have the REIQ Real Estate Salesperson of the Year, Mr. Mark McGill. Mark, welcome to the program.
Thanks very much, Lee.
What are you doing at the Academy today?
Oh, we're coming down to work on some vendor quick tips, actually.
Very good. Now, prior to coming into doing our quick tips, you've just had a meeting with your assistant agent who works with you. I thought what a perfect opportunity to say, this is an audio quick tip. Many people get support, it doesn't go right, there's no accountability, and there's no agenda or structure to the week. Mark, what is it you do and who works alongside you to support you as a lead agent?
Okay, so at the moment I have two people working in my team. I've got Susan, who's also a listing and selling agent, and then we've got Carly, who provides support and administration.
So let's just tap into that. As a listing and selling agent yourself, you've taken on someone to be a listing and selling agent in their own right, to work alongside you, yet you're not a principal, you are a real estate agent in the Amber Worshen camp. What made you do that?
Mainly because of the amount of volume that we had and also just the service levels. It was very hard to keep up that level of service, and we had enough volume there to sustain and feed listings to a second agent.
Take us through the agenda of what you've just done for your meeting to have these two people work alongside you.
Okay, so at the moment, our basic agenda is, first of all, we have our current listings. So we go through all our stock and we just have a discussion around every single property. So
you're looking for next actions, improvements, communications.
And also just where they're up to, because, for example, Susan has some listings, I have my own listings, and it's hard to keep up every day where each one is at and where negotiations are at, or what we can do to help cross-sell each other's listings. Or sometimes we're both different people, so we can actually swap over. So sometimes it's better to introduce Susan to help a situation, and sometimes it's easier for me to go across to one of Susan's listings and help her.
What is the current stock on hand?
Okay, so at the moment we've got about 25 listings that are active.
Is that normal, good, bad, low, high? Where's that for you?
Probably on the low side for me now. I'm used to handling around 35, 40 listings, but we're selling a few more of them as well now.
We've discussed stock. What do you do now?
Next, we go on to unsigned appraisals. So these are appraisals that we've spoken to, ones that we know that are coming up, and just actions that we can do and what the next step is to do with those next unsigned appraisals. So what to send, what to say, what we could invite them to, what we could follow them up on. We've got a bunch of different tools and resources that we can send them. So it's just a matter of what's the next step and what's their time frame like, and just keeps them top of mind.
How many unsigned pieces of business do you have in those appraisals?
At the moment, we've got 25 that we've appraised very recently and are probably likely to come to the market within the next 3 to 6 months.
And that equates to roughly how much money?
Out of that, their average sale price is about $600,000, so 25 times that.
So 15 times 25 would be $375,000 in commissions sitting out there, not signed or exchanged. It makes you think. What else is in the agenda?
Okay, so the next item is just prospecting activities that we've got coming up, things that we can do, what sort of prospecting plans that we have for the month. Then the next agenda is sales and negotiations we're currently under. So where the buyer's at, where the seller's at, what we can do to move them closer to sale.
What's next?
Next is upcoming settlements. So this is just gives us some visibility on buyers and sellers that we've already done the job for, and it just helps keep us in touch so we don't forget when the settlement's coming, booking pre-settlements, arranging finance, even things like getting gifts and organising client dinners and things like that. So it just keeps them on our radar as well so we don't forget them.
What's next?
Next is just training, implementation and resources. So this is where we go through any training that we've done or listened to recently, anything that we want to implement, and any resources that we need to do out of that. So for example, Carly, who's doing the administration, we need to simplify the checklist for processing a new listing for her, because the one that we've got at the moment is probably a bit too full on, a bit too complicated, and we just want to break it down to a simpler role. So that's an immediate resource that we need to get onto.
Mark, great system, and we're looking at these headings and bullet points. The report's been prepared for you. You're here with us today, so you've just sat on the phone for 15 minutes, went through that, everything's on top. How long did it take you to get that little framework right for your productivity meetings?
We're still working on it. It's taken probably 6 months to get to a point where we're still finding our feet as a team. But yeah, it's taken a good 6 months to get that framework down pat, and it seems to be working now.
Great news. Mark McGill, thank you for joining us on Audio Quick Tips.
Thanks, Lee.